Batman and Superman have teamed up many a time beyond Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, or been opposed to each other and had stories intertwined together. They have a very interesting dynamic. And many people who have criticized Batman v Superman have gone on to say this is not the right dynamic between the two. This is a different world and a different Batman and Superman than I've grown up with, that I've come to love and know through various mediums, including the comics, including the DC animation, and beyond that even.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about team-ups, clashes between Batman and Superman that we liked maybe better, I don't know.
Listen, I want to make this very clear because I didn't say this last time on our last subject. Like, I had an enjoyable time at the theater seeing Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. I saw the plot holes like crazy, but I still enjoyed it. So now we can jump into the team ups.
Well,
I just didn't want to be killed online.
No, it's okay. First of all, we'd already talked about opinions, and it's okay for people to have differing opinions on movies.
I'll be cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't seen it yet still.
Yeah.
For reasons. For fear, perhaps.
Personal
reasons. For no one wanting to come with me. There's just a few different ones. But I'm going to see it tonight. So
yes.
Go ahead. I'd like you to tip off.
Yeah. Oh, no, I love, both of these characters are the two of my favorite superheroes because of what they represent, you know? Superman gets bashed all the time for being the big blue Boy Scout. But there has to be a counter to him that is not Lex Luthor. And Batman is always the one that keeps Superman in check. He's always the one that's like, no, here's the reality of the world. And you need to stop thinking like a Frank Capra movie and start seeing the reality of the David Fincher world we live in. And
I kind of like the big blue super
of course you do.
Boy Scout
and you
part
should,
of him because it is inspiring.
Of
it
course.
Is hopeful. It is positive and sweet and something that
Yeah.
I would like to see through someone's eyes. And I think his eyes are the ideal ones as an orphan.
Yeah.
Or kind of an orphan,
Well,
someone who's been readopted and has a new home and a new family.
Superman is who we want to be. Batman is who he is, who we are.
Who we is.
Who we be, as DMX once said. But yeah, for me, the pair-ups start at Dark Knight Returns. The battles between them start at Dark Knight Returns. I absolutely love that battle, and it's such a great encapsulation of their relationship, right? Batman has to go through all these extents. Superman is kind of the puppet of the president of what is a fictionalized version of Reagan. And Batman has to fight him. And Batman has to fight him because Superman has to put him down because Batman's vigilante attacks, which once again, he's dragging Superman out of retirement to see the truth of what's happening on the streets. He has to make him see it, and they have this amazing battle, which they didn't quite get 100% right on Dawn of Justice, but still there were shades of it that were echoing from the pages of Dark Knight Returns.
I think that's like a quintessential one.
Yes.
That it's a must read, watch experience, however you may.
Right, because there's an animated one, which is great too.
Is.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to talk about today is from Justice League Unlimited, because that is something I grew up with as a kid and something I was really interested in. The episode I'm talking about is For the Man Who Has Everything. So basically what's going on is Batman and Wonder Woman travel to the Fortress of Solitude for a birthday party for Superman. They discover he has something on his chest. There's like this black creature on his chest, and they discover it's called the Black Mercy. And it makes you go into, I suppose, a dream world, your idealized world. Eventually it goes on to Batman later when they manage to get it off of him.
Yeah.
And we see both of their views of what a perfect world should be. Superman's is if Krypton is still existing, he still has his father. I think he has his own son. It's just really beautiful and idyllic. Batman's is the night that Thomas and Martha Wayne were shot, but instead of being killed by Joe Chill, Thomas Wayne just starts wailing on him. So Batman's ideal is his father beating up a criminal, and Superman's ideal is just a peaceful family world. Yeah. Which is, I think, very telling about the two of them, and in deep parallel. Well, what is peace? What is justice?
Right. Well, like I said, Superman is what we want to be. Batman is who we be. And another one is Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come.
Excellent.
If you haven't bought this graphic novel, if you've never read Kingdom Come, for God's sakes, please read Kingdom Come. It is so good. It's set in the future. All the old superheroes have been retired for quite some time. The new superheroes have come in, but they're causing problems in the society. They're causing deaths and explosions because they're not They haven't been trained how to use their powers correctly. So Superman has to come back. But throughout the whole series, Batman has his crew, and he's working with Lex Luthor. Superman has his crew, which is the old heroes, and they eventually lead to them battling in a dome, which is amazing, which is the prison that's been set up. And then Thunderdome, basically. And then Shazam, or Captain Marvel, however you want to call him, interjects into the situation and really gets his due as a hero that he's never gotten through the whole DC universe. And it's such a fantastic comic book, but also seeing, once again, Batman's point of view as a human versus Superman's seeing him as an alien, whereas Superman seeing everybody has to do the right things, and we'll put them in a prison, and we'll do all these things, and we'll try to re-educate them, which is almost fascist. And so it's a great exploration of if you took their points of views all the way to the end, what would be the results? And almost like what you referenced with yours, you see Batman's vision of a perfect world and Superman's vision of a perfect world, and you see that in Kingdom Come to a degree.
I think that's a great choice, and something that you should also be reading. I don't know if there's an animated version of that.
They're talking about it.
They're thinking
After
about
Killing
it.
Joke, yeah, they're talking about tackling
Killing
Kingdom. Yeah,
Joke.
it's going to be so good.
I wish we could talk about that, but Superman's not in that story.
No, he isn't.
And also Mad Love, another one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to talk about Batman Beyond now, because I will not step away from the DCAU, and there's an episode called The Call. So as you know, Batman Beyond, or as you may know, Batman Beyond is set in the future. Bruce Wayne has gotten old, and he's mentoring a new Batman, Terry McGinnis, who is more technology-based,
Yeah.
he's more svelte, he has his own opinions on things. He's not exactly like Bruce, but he has some Bruceisms in him, I guess. And then Superman shows up, who's still pretty vital because Kryptonian genes. He can still operate pretty well as a hero. And he says, you need to help me. Members of the Justice League are being killed. He says, okay. Later we discover Superman has gone rogue, and we have one of those great scenes that I think happens quite a bit, where Batman's like, you got to put him down.
Yeah.
You got to put Superman down. And then Terry says, I could kill him. And he goes, do what you need to do, which is a very interesting take on Bruce, which is, I mean, he has this ethos of you shouldn't kill, but...
Yeah, that comes up in the new film, by the way.
So I hear.
Yeah.
And so to my displeasure. I mean, that's a different take.
Sure. Well, is it though? Because if we've seen it in other media, then it's not really a different take.
This was pushing it to its limit. I
Right.
think. This was as far as it would go.
Well,
In this episode, I haven't seen the movie
No,
yet,
you haven't.
John. Okay.
I'm not trying to spoil anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so it's a different take, and this is, I mean, clearly two different worlds. Even if we look at Snyder's universe versus the animated universe, it's going to have a different tone inherently, and that's just one example of it.
Yeah. I think Flashpoint should be brought up as well. Flashpoint is
Yeah.
everything to the nth degree, which I really enjoyed.
You know,
so,
it's not a good Justice League story without a dead Flash.
no, it isn't. It isn't.
That's another recurring theme.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting way. I mean, this shows how much potential this series has and this universe has for looking at these different takes of it, and be it on print, be it on television.
Yeah.
There are many different iterations of the characters that we may love or dislike or disagree with or cling to as the quintessential version of these characters. What is the version for you? What is the Batman and Superman story for you? Let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.